happy, following the blues. We love you, what more can we say? We have the tickets tops here at St Andrews. They go give us what we're longing for.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome to Monday night's Tilton Talk Show, sponsored by Ball Sports, principal sponsor of Birmingham City Football Club. I get my words out. Sponsored also by the Garrison Coffee Company, SAS Autos and Blues Trust. We're also supporting PTSD and lots of other local charities. So yeah, it's Monday night. We have some very special guests with us tonight. First and foremost, Mrs. Brown.
Good evening.
AKA Mr. Rogue, Mr. Mark Adams.
Hello everybody, hope you're okay. Hey.
On our fan cam tonight, we have also a very special guest, Leighton Webster.
Hi guys.
Hi Leighton.
And tonight's very special guest also is former Blues right back with the club from 1986 to 1990, Mr. Kevin Ashley.
Hey.
Hello.
Welcome.
Cheers, buddy.
So plenty to get through tonight. First and foremost, though, just want to all send our best wishes to Nick, who's not with us tonight, who's had a hernia operation and he's recovering from that. So all the best to you, Nick, if you're watching, or when you do watch. But yeah, plenty to get through tonight. So let's start with obviously Saturday's game and another disappointing defeat. And nothing's official yet, but you know it's all but confirmed that Karanka's now left the club and he's going to be potentially replaced by, we're hoping, Lee Bowyer. What are your thoughts, Mark?
To be honest, Paul, I'm buzzing. I'm really chuffed that out of the candidates out there, I don't think we get the same sort of buzz from like a Neil Harris or, dare I say, Tony Pulis or anything like that. And I think it's going to be a really good move by the club. Even better if he could get a couple of. And I'm not saying it for sentiment's sake, but if he could get like a Robbo alongside him, or one of the old boys, like a Roger Johnson, maybe getting Ridgewell involved or someone like that, just to give us a boost for the last 10 games.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they looked on their knees, didn't they, after that game? I mean, I saw Harley Deep's interview, and we just need somebody who can pick them up and give them a boost again. I'm a big fan of our ex-players coming back to manage us. It's obviously worked in the past. You can go back as far as Trevor, Steve Bruce, Gary Rowett. In my time that is, and hopefully this time now, if it is Lee Bowyer, then we can move forward positively and go in the right direction again.
Well, he wore his heart on his sleeve when he played for us, and then we saw it a couple of weeks ago when we chatted to him about the Carling Cup special. You realise how much Blues actually mean to him, and for a London boy, it takes some doing to. It speaks volumes, really. So, a lot of people are going to be underwhelmed, but again, who did they realistically expect? We weren't going to get Eddie Howe, we weren't going to get Lampard or Wilder. They were just kind of silly suggestions, really. We're not in a position to get people like that.
No, I think under the circumstances. At Charlton, Lee Bowyer's done a magnificent job. And his striker, I think his striker refused to play, didn't he, to try and keep him up last season. And obviously that worked in our favour, so we can't say we're disappointed about that. But, he's going to come into us now, hopefully, and pick us up off the floor, if you like, and take us forward and hopefully do a similar job to what Gary Rowett did when he first came in after we was on our knees after that heavy defeat at home to Bournemouth. I won't say the score.
To be fair, Paul, I mean, Charlton went down, but he's only by 2 points behind us. It weren't a massive thing. And also, their board is potentially just as bad, or if not worse, than ours. So hopefully with a better group of players, obviously not a better board, but a more stable sort of, footing. Who knows what it could do?
Am I right in saying they had a transfer embargo as well, did they? Yeah.
An embargo as well, yeah.
So, that's not
David Davis, another one who refused to play for him because he didn't want to be in London while the COVID was kicking off.
That's right,
let's not put the boot in before he's even walked to the door. That's what I'm trying to say.
No, that's one thing.
I think for me, Karanka has to be the biggest disappointment based on expectation. When the day he arrived, I was really happy with the appointment, and I know a lot of people that were buzzing about it. And for one reason or another, it hasn't worked out for him. You know, but I don't blame it all on him. I do think there's been a lot of individual mistakes this season, obviously, including Saturday just gone. I mean, the 2 errors again for the 2 of their goals, you know, was just, it's schoolboy stuff, isn't it? And you know, we need to sort it out. And it's obviously confidence and concentration levels are low, and morale's low, isn't it? You can clearly see that the body language on the players isn't good, and you know, he's coming in now with 10 games to go, and he's got a massive job on his hands. If it is him, I'm going to keep saying it because it's not confirmed. No. If it is him, you know, he's got a big job on his hands. But you know, I think he can do it. I think he can come in and first and foremost keep us up, and then, you know, hopefully now. I mean, we're on the 8th manager nearly now in 4.5 years since Ralph was sacked. So let's hope it's 8th time lucky for this board. You know, because you can't keep sacking managers every 6 months because you're just never going to get any stability, are you? And you're never going to go forward. And all it's going to do is unrest players as well. Do you know what I mean? They're never going to settle. Yeah, so, when you sign for one manager and then 6 months later he's sacked and another one comes in, you know, you're going to, in a way, you're almost going to not regret it, but you're going to think, you know, well, have I done the right thing here as a player? Because you signed for the previous manager, and is the new manager going to want me?
Yeah. I mean, the Harley Dean interview, I mean, the life just looked drained out of Dean.
Oh, yeah.
For a captain of a club to be like that speaks volumes, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. So, but Kevin, welcome to the show, mate. Kevin, welcome to the show. Thanks for giving up your time to join us tonight.
No worries, buddy. Cheers. Thank you.
So, 1986 to 1990. Can you tell us about where it all started? Then was you sort of given trials by the club? Was you in the academy?
Yeah, it wasn't academies back then. It was just used to sign schoolboy forms at 14.
Okay.
So I think I was about 13 when I first started training. 13 and a half. You have a few trial games. You get introduced to what people who already signed and start training with them. And I signed when I was 14. I signed schoolboy forms.
Yeah.
Did you start off as a fullback, Kevin?
No, funny enough, I never. I used to be midfielder, really. But we went on. I think it was at England schoolboy trials. We went on England schoolboy trials, and one of the coaches there, I can't remember his name. He says you're a fullback all day long. It was the best move ever, really. So that, as a midfielder, I don't think I'd have made level kind of thing now. But as a fullback, it was a great move for me.
Yeah.
And you're not involved in football at all now, then, Kev? No.
No. I had some bad experience, so I was happy to get out of it. To be honest, get out of that circle as well.
Right. Okay. Do you want to elaborate on the "I wanted to get out of it" scenario?
There's just too many at the time. It was a kind of a dog-eat-dog world. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was like you don't really make. Well, back then you never used to make a lot of not proper friends as such, really.
Yeah.
People come and go and whatever, but it was just I don't know. I thought about big egos and stuff like that. I mean, that wasn't me kind of thing. So obviously, when I finished playing, I went non-league and I started enjoying football again when I went non-league. To be honest.
Was it Paget Rangers? Was it?
No, I went to Telford.
Telford, sorry.
I left Peterborough. I went to Doncaster for 3 or 4 games. Couldn't stand it. Had a row with the chairman there. And I went to. Remember Wayne Clark?
Yeah. What a great player.
But he was manager at Telford, and he took me down to Telford with him. I took 2 or 3 years there, and I went to Bromsgrove for a couple of years.
Yeah.
But I wasn't trying. I could only play games because of my knee. That's what I mean. That's the ultimate reason why I come out of the program, because of my knee, like really. But I was just playing on Saturdays and not training. It was just after a game, it's taking half the week to get over it, kind of thing. So.
Yeah.
You got out the game.
There's a lot of compliments coming in for you, mate. Jason Hughes is saying Kevin is one of the best fullbacks I've seen at the Blues.
Cheers. Thanks, Jace.
Yeah, and Ray says Kev was a great fullback for Blues. So,
yeah. So it's a shame, really, isn't it, that you kind of you can fall out with it, fall out of love with because I guess you love playing, didn't you, when you started playing and you first made your league debut for us.
Oh, brilliant! It's just you have one bad move and it can ruin everything for you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When I was 14, I signed with Blues. We had grew up with a lot of Freyne, Dean Peer, Mark Yates, Simon Sturridge, Tatey.
Yeah.
There's a few of us. We all come through together, and we all got in the first team together. It was a great journey, do you know what I mean? It was, and you used to enjoy, not just was it a job, but your mates were there, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because we grew up as kids.
Yeah, can you remember who your debut was against?
Yeah, West Brom. My
Was
full
that at home?
debut. Yeah, it was on TV. Yeah.
Okay.
They just signed Don Goodman actually for a minute. I think it was £1 million. I think it was his first game as well. That was my full debut.
Yeah.
Actually, I got my match as well, to be honest. I was sick on the pitch after about 20 minutes as well.
Oh, right.
That nerve.
Yeah, because of the pace of the game, you're just not used to it, kind of thing.
Right.
The adrenaline and everything. I was sick after about 20 minutes.
It's probably safe to say that you're not the first player that's said that and fallen out in and out of the game. It's quite common, isn't it? You know, they just you think they're going to stay in the game, but they just completely disillusioned.
Yeah,
I mean, like I say, I mean, we get nervous before big games as fans. I mean, these days we get nervous about Blues having a shot at goal.
yeah. Well, I don't get too nervous because you don't see it very often. So
no, you don't. It's quite rare. But I can just, I can only imagine what it's like for a player, especially in the debut, playing against someone like West Brom, local derby.
Yeah. And are you watching much football nowadays, Kevin? Are you watching like Blues or any other teams that you used to play for, or in general? You're watching football in general now?
I don't watch a lot of football anymore, to be honest.
No.
Don't you know?
No, I don't really, not anymore. No. I used to watch Epcot all the time, but it's even the modern game's changing now, isn't it?
It's a completely different game, yeah.
You can't tackle anymore. It is a different game.
Yeah, definitely.
Somebody have said the same thing as well, haven't they? It's such a different game to what it was.
Yeah,
exactly.
I'd have been sent off every game. I would have.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So let's bring Leighton in then. Obviously on our fan cam tonight, a very special guest as well, and a guy who's been through the mill to say the least in the last 12 months. And if any of our players are watching this, I want you to take a leaf out of Leighton's book because he was down, but he wasn't out, and he kept fighting and he kept right on, and he's still with us to tell the tale. God bless you, mate. Welcome and. So, do you want to tell us a bit about what you've been through over the last 12 months, mate?
From the beginning.
It's going back to the beginning part of last year. And I went to my last game at the Blues just before they started lockdown. And didn't know when the football was going to start back up again. And I was just going to work, and because I'm a baker, so I had to go to work, and I all of a sudden fell ill, and within a couple of hours I was rushed to hospital in ambulance and in a coma, and I woke up 6 weeks later in intensive care and didn't know what was happening in the world at all. Couldn't speak, couldn't move my legs, my arms, anything. So the funniest thing was they got me a voice box to put on so I could speak. And the first thing I said to my dad was on the phone was, "How's football going? How Blues doing? Are the Villa down yet?" and he was like, you just almost died, and all you're interested in is asking us how the football's going. And he just said, "Look, nothing's happening." But I didn't know what the outside world was because I hadn't seen anything. I went into the hospital from the beginning of the epidemic. So I was literally just like having to learn that nothing was happening outside. So like I was like, "Oh, if Liverpool won the league, are Villa down yet?" They were like, "No, everything's come to a standstill." And then like not being able to, I had to learn to walk and everything again, because there's just funny things in my head. I just thought like I wanted to be able to walk to the football with my daughter again. It's these little things that you take for granted.
Absolutely, yeah.
I take it for granted that every week I walk from Digworth up to the ground, and I literally was phoning up my family and saying, today I've done 1 step, today I've done 2 steps. And it sounds crazy now, and I was trying to work out how many steps I'd have to learn to do to be able to get to like, and I was just like, everything you take for granted is just taken away. And I was in hospital for 4.5 months, having treatment, and I was fit and healthy, played football myself to quite an okay standard, and it just hit me and took me right out. And the support I've had from Blues fans and players and you guys, it just makes me love the club even more, because it's just like a family to me.
Yeah,
that's good.
I mean, they talk about players being brave in relegation fights and all that. They're nothing on you, Leighton.
No.
But you're the brave one. You're the blue hero, not them.
Thing is, you got 2 choices. You either put it all out or you give up. There's no in between. You know, you've either got to give it all or not bother, because it's the only way you're going to get anywhere.
Can I ask you, when you were at your lowest, you know, when you were feeling ill, was there ever a time when you thought, oh crikey, this could be it?
Well, my wife was called in twice to say goodbye to me.
Right, okay. That one must have been pretty serious.
Yeah. I've got 3 children, and my eldest one heard what was happening, so that's the one I go to the football with. So that was terrible for her, because we're just like a bond. Us two are just like, we do everything together. But yeah, there was times where it's hard to describe. You just think, am I going to make it? And, you know, you're depending on the great NHS staff and everything.
Yeah, fabulous.
And my life was in their hands, and I could put the effort in myself, but their efforts were amazing as well. But yeah, there was times where it was touch and go.
Yeah. So what about now? Are you on sort of any like long-term medication and stuff? Do you have to go into hospital and so forth? Or
I'm on that many tablets.
Really?
You're
rattling.
Yeah, like a maraca. But I had to have a lot of physio, and I just keep pushing it now, and trying to get back to as much as I can to normality. So hopefully when things get back to normal, hopefully I can start doing the things that I used to do before and get back down the football and doing that, go make the most of it. I've been given a second chance.
Yeah. That's brilliant. Yeah. For those that are just listening, Leighton was in a COVID ward for 4.5 months, was it, Leighton?
Yeah.
Oof. There we go.
Yeah. You see some things that, you can heal your wounds, but there's things that you see that you can't take away. People that don't believe it. If you were to be there, you might open your eyes a little bit to some people.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I was just saying before we came on air what it would be like on Wednesday night if Lee Bowyer is our new manager for Wednesday night. What it would have been like down there if we could all go to the game.
Yeah,
it would have been electric.
Yeah, me and my daughter, we used to buzz for the big games and the new managers, and the atmosphere. But I think it just needs. I think it needs somebody to get the motivation back.
Yeah.
And somebody that's got to put some passion back in. They don't have to be the best manager and stuff like that. They've just got to get the best out of what they've got.
Yeah. Absolutely, yeah.
They all looked drained at the moment, and it's like mentally drained.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And that's. I think it just needs somebody to pick them up, and I think out of the 10 games, I think we need at least 5.
I mean, I thought we started the game really well on Saturday, and we hit the post twice. You know, and we started well, and then ultimately it's an individual mistake that comes from nowhere, and we go 1-0 down, and that's it, isn't it? You know, but against QPR, we did against QPR, we did go a goal down, and we managed to come back and win the game. So it is there. You have got the foundations of a good group of lads, and we have got some good players in that squad, and I think really, like you say, we just need to play to their strengths and to
the badge.
And
to the badge.
Yeah.
Like I say, if sorry, Paul, I was going to say if it is Bowyer, at least we know he is a fan of the 4-4-2. So maybe it might rejuvenate Dukey. You don't know, do you?
No.
Yeah, I don't know. Dukey's he's looked a spent force.
He looks leggy, doesn't he? Yeah. We said it last week. I think Dukey's days might be numbered.
Probably,
as much as we all love him, you know, we've got to be realistic, you know.
But there again, it might be a last hurrah from Dukey. You don't know. A new manager comes in and things are different, aren't they? Solid.
I mean, I would love to see Super Kev back, Kevin Phillips as our striker coach. You know the job that James Beattie did with Gary Monk? I'd love to see Kevin Phillips come and do that with Lee Bowyer, you know, that would be amazing.
That would
be. He'd certainly get him finding out where the net is more, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, like I say, it could potentially be a dugout full of cup winners. You know.
Well, absolutely. You know,
that'd be amazing.
Yeah.
Our plea on the Carling Cup show was to get them back. We asked them to come back. You never know.
I'm taking credit for that because I said I don't know if we'll ever see it like that again, and I think that must have got Lee Bowyer thinking, I'll make it like that again. When I said it.
Right at the end of the interview, he does say, and Lee Bowyer as manager.
That's what Cameron Jerome said. Yeah. So, Kevin, who was the best player you played with at Blues and in your whole career?
Best at Blues. I'm going to say purely because he was a great pro, and I looked up to him when he was there. Dennis Mortimer.
Okay.
I know he was at the end of his career, but he was
still a great player.
Just a great pro and training. Everything he done everything properly, lived properly. So I'd say Dennis Mortimer, but also Gleghorn as well, Nigel Gleghorn.
Gleghorn,
One of my favourites as a kid, he was. Yeah.
He never had much pace, like where you could still go past people just a drop of a shoulder.
That's good.
In my old career. I don't know, you know.
What about Steve Bull?
He's awesome, Bully. Ability-wise, he wasn't the best, but his work rate, his strength, just his desire, man. He was an animal, really. Bully was.
Yeah.
He'd always bloody score against us and all. Every time.
Yeah.
Yeah. He scored about everybody, didn't he? Bully. I'd say Paul Cook's probably one of the best ones. Robbie Dennison, Paul Birch.
Dennison.
Even Jeff Thomas.
Yeah. Did you play with Tony Daly at Wolves as well?
No, he was after me again. I'd gone by then.
Yeah.
Anthony Garvey, just have to thank Kev. As when I was doing a charity football run fundraiser, Kevin actually came along and donated his blue shirt that he wore on his debut. Absolute top class, that. But you don't remember that?
I do, yeah, because Anne Storney got me on the interview on this show.
Right, okay. Good stuff.
Yeah, I used to be at the Royal Mail when I was at Royal Mail. When I come out of football, I went to Telford with Wayne Clark. Wayne Clark was at Royal Mail, and he got me a job as well. You see there.
Okay.
I was at Royal Mail.
Yeah. Ray's just said Don Goodman knew where the back of the net was.
Yeah.
Gleghorn, the 3rd Division Teddy Sheringham. Says Ian Clayton.
Yeah. And who was the funniest amongst the Blues players when you was there as well? Who would you say was the funniest, the one that was best to be around?
Titan Fox, they were funny because they were mad.
Who's that from?
Titan and Matthew Fox.
Oh yeah.
They were funny just because they were crazy. You know, they do things you think of doing, but you'd never do them.
No. Yeah. We've got Tatey to come, haven't we? So that should be a good one.
Any funny stories you can tell us about?
Without getting anybody into trouble.
From Blues or from anywhere else?
Anywhere will do.
Go, yeah, I mean, if there is any at Blues, but obviously if not, then anywhere. It's a bit of a long story, so I'll cut it as short as I can. When I was at Wolves, basically, we was on tour in Sweden. I broke somebody's leg in a tackle. Not intentionally. It was all. I mean, it kicked off. They were spitting in my face. You dirty English, this, that, whatever. I got sent off anyway, so I've gone to the changing room. I'm sat there for about 5 minutes. The rest of the lads come in. After the game's been abandoned, we've been told to get on the coach as we were in our kit. We had to travel 4 hours back just to get away from the ground, basically. Following morning at training, we went down for training. Graham Turner was the manager at the time. He sort of abused me a bit, like in front of all the lads. Set off training. I never went. I had to train with the injured players in just to run. Because I says I'd be suspended for the first 3 games. So Gary Pena was the assistant manager at the time. I remember Gary Pena, obviously Gary Pena.
Yeah. Blues confidence.
I says to him, to Gaz, I need to speak to the manager on. So when I got sent off, not one of them come and spoke to me or nothing. And Gaz says he won't speak to you. He says, why don't you get back to England? But I was mad, like I was burning, kind of thing. Later on that night, we had we used to go to a beer festival kind of thing. All the staff went there, so we got the coach, went to the beer festival. The same night at the hotel where we stayed, there was a club underneath, and the locals had put a disc on for the lads on. So Turner says, he said, we all go to the beer festival. He said, well, you're there an hour, 2 hours, whatever. It's up to you. He said, but we all go together. If you want to come back to you can. So we'd only got to the beer festival. We was only there for about an hour with the lads. We all got taxis back to the hotel. He said your curfew was 1 o'clock. We were down, it's about 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning. One of the lads, I think it was Mark Burke at the time, he's gone to go to bed, and he never used to drink. He's gone up, he's come back down. He says to the lads, he said they're all upstairs in the foyer. And I remember it was Paul Cook. He says, who's up there? We had Graham Turner, Gary Pendry, the chairman was there, the chairman's son, Billy Wright, the great Billy Wright was there, the club secretary, you name it, they was all there. Well, because Turner wouldn't speak to me during the day, and I was mad that I couldn't get to speak to him. Cookie says, when they come back down to the restaurant, he said they're all upstairs. Cookie gathered all the lads together, and I thought that was my chance then. So I've gone upstairs, paralytic, slaughtered a lot of them. Crap club, crap manager, worst thing I ever did. Then I broke into singing Keep Right On in front of them all, paralytic.
No.
Yeah. And I had the lads come and drag me away from that.
That's brilliant.
You've just gone up in a lot of people's estimation there, Kevin.
I got back the following morning training. He had a big meeting turned. He says, I'm not going to. We only had one game left. He said, we can't let one mindless idiot, an incident, ruin a tour. And never spoke to me again after that. That was it. Surprisingly.
What did the other players say to you?
Well, this was the thing, like, the lads were all right about it. But when I got the following day, because Dave Instone was the reporter for the Express the Star, which was the Wolverhampton paper.
Yeah.
And he done an article saying, he says the staff the staff and senior players were disgusted with the challenge. So it's really got more back. What do you mean? So I'm asking the players who's disgusted, and I knew none of them was, but they really painted me in a bad light, like it was intentional. Yeah. Which there was no. I mean, it's horrible. Don't get me wrong. You broke somebody's leg, and to be fair, he was getting on. I don't think he ever played again. To actually break somebody's leg and hear the noise, it's quite sickening as well. Do you know what I mean? I mean, it was an horrible noise. There was no intention there, but I was made out that it was intentional. But as soon as we come back to England, I was on the training ground and had a phone call from the ground, so you got to go up and see Graham Turner, which I did. And to be fair, I mean, I'd asked to leave the Wolves 3 or 4 times when I was there. I'd asked to leave after 6 weeks of being there. To be fair, I knew I'd made the wrong thing. But he said, put your transfer request in now, and we'll accept it. But I was due. This was in the July, August. I was due a 20 grand sign-on fee in September. Whereas if I asked for a transfer, I'm sort of waiving that 20 grand. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So I said, no. I said, I'm not putting it in. I said, I've got 20 grand due in September. And to be fair to Turner, he says it's all sorted. So I've sorted with the chairman. We'll honour the 20 grand, even if you go or wherever, or you're still here or you're not here. We'll honour it. But I got him to put it in writing, and I signed it, and that was that.
I bet it sounds like you'd be just relieved to get away, to be honest.
Oh, do you know what? I made a quote when I was at Wolves. I said, I got less for murder. And this David Instone, the reporter, put it in the paper. You know, so I mean, the fans hated me there anyway. Yeah. Oh, proper hated me. I wasn't very good there. I had a few injuries, stopped enjoying it, and whatever you like. It's just everything seemed to go against you there, kind of thing, you know.
Yeah. Jason, a few live questions coming in. Jason McDonough's just asking, what's Kevin's favourite moment? What whilst in a blue shirt and in your whole career?
After my debut, making my debut for Blues, and to be honest, just when I signed school, my first professional contract. Yeah, it's all I ever wanted to do as a kid, like, you know. So to do that and to make your debut. Do you know, I was gutted when I left. Obviously, you got to Wembley that following year, that following season, you know, like that. I was up there with me and my wife went. I was gutted that I weren't involved in that.
And Craig, for the lads. Craig Courtney's asking, Kevin was at the club during the real low times, but how did it feel to walk out on the St Andrews pitch with fans singing "Keep Right On" him from the old cop?
Now, you know, if you go back to the old stadiums, you can't beat them old stadiums. No. Atmosphere. Just, you know, it's just that I was saying now, that ground, don't have crowds and atmosphere. Even if there's 3,000 or 4,000, 5,000, when they sing that song, because I think it's one of the best anthems, football anthems around for clubs, to be fair.
Definitely.
Great.
Did you know Ian Andysides? Were you at the club when Ian was there, or?
Yeah, I was a young lad when he was there.
Right. Jason wants to know what were your memories of Ian, if you did
just
have any.
Real nice bloke.
Yeah.
He always had time, because we were young kids at the time. He always had time for everybody, to be fair to him. Real nice bloke. Real nice bloke.
Yeah. Good stuff.
He's still in touch. Are you still in touch with any of them, Kevin?
Not so much now. I mean, I used to play for the Blues All Stars and stuff. But I stopped playing. Obviously, I've got a bad knee and stuff. I couldn't play anymore. We used to have get-togethers every now and again at the club. We used to have a do at the club and Christmas do's and stuff. I haven't been on one for a while now.
No.
The last one, I got a couple on Facebook and that lot.
Yeah.
The last one I spoke to was Ian Atkins about 2 months ago, to be honest.
Yeah.
Oh, and Andy Kennedy, sorry.
Andy Kennedy as well. Yeah.
He scored the first. I can't remember who it was against, but he scored the first goal I ever saw at St Andrews. He did. I remember that. Yeah.
He introduced me in Flying to Liberties.
And he was all downhill from there.
Yeah. Isn't he? He's in Spain now, isn't he?
No, he's back. It's funny enough. My wife does some social marketing with his wife.
Oh, okay.
He's back in Glasgow now. He did get to Canada for a while.
Yeah.
Oh, right, yeah.
He's back in Glasgow.
Mm. Oh, okay.
And I guess that shirt Leighton's got on there, you would have played him, wouldn't you, Kevin?
I wore that top, yeah.
I think,
Yeah.
Is that why you got it on, Leighton?
I did think it was around 86, yeah.
Yeah. What a shirt.
That's good stuff.
Co-op milk.
Question for you, Leighton, off Linda Magna. She just said, please ask Leighton who his favourite Blues player is, obviously ever, I presume she means, and also which players contacted you to wish you well.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, his favourite player.
Yeah.
Oh,
go forever.
Yeah, not ever.
I love Horsfield.
Yeah.
He sent me a message when I was in hospital.
Yeah.
And Devlin.
Brilliant.
Robbie Savage. I had Twitter messages off Bellingham. And that, but I just like Horsfield. I just thought he'd put it all out, and
the legend, isn't he?
He wasn't the prettiest player, but he'd always he'd always make it not easy for that defender. He'd just put it all in for the whole game.
Yeah.
Was that a bit of a shock when Sav called you?
Yeah. Robbie gave me a call, and it was really nice because, to be honest, I was sat in a bed and I was getting a bit down at the time, and he sat and he chatted to me, and we actually chatted about when he played for Leicester and he went into the referee's toilets. And it really motivated. It picked me up.
Yeah.
It picked me up, and it was nice.
That's good.
Brilliant.
Good stuff.
Good. Yeah. And what's your favourite ever Blues moment, Leighton? If you could go back and relive a Blues moment that you was at, what would it be?
Not one that I was at, but the Carling Cup was probably my favourite. And I had my daughter in my arms at the time, and I threw her up in the air, and I was watching the telly. And I'm 6.5 foot, so she sort of hit the ceiling. She was only 2 at the time.
I'm right.
and I just grabbed her, and I just grabbed her, and just threw her up in the air. And I'd probably said that not being there, but that's probably my favourite.
Yeah.
One for being there, it wasn't really a massive moment, but me and my daughter were at the game against Sheffield Wednesday in 2016, and we was 1-1, and Duke scored in the 92nd minute. He looped the header in. I don't know why, but I just was buzzing after that game because it very easily goes the other way, and I walk home feeling. But and what helped was I was walking back to the car through Digbeth, and I saw a load of friends. And they were all Villa fans, so I was in a good mood to see them. So, but it can go either way as a fan. You can either lose a game in the last few minutes, but winning the game in the 92nd minute, I just was buzzing at that one.
Nice, isn't it?
Yeah. And Kevin, what was your favourite game that you played in for Blues? Was it still your debut, or have you got any others that that live long in the memory?
No, it would be my debut, to be honest. It's also what you work, it's what you dream of and what you work for, you know what I mean? So, it's always a debut for me.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'd played in the final, probably, I said there'd be a final, do you mean? But
yeah.
Definitely the debut.
Yeah. And what would you say, if you can remember this far back, when you was on the pitch playing yourself, what would you say was the best goal that you've seen scored by us when you was playing? Testing your memory now.
Is there?
He's probably got a worse memory than Nick.
My memory's shot. It's shot.
Yeah. It's terrible when you get to our age.
I'll tell you, just for sentimental reasons, because it was my last away game with Gleghorn at Stoke away. We beat them 1-0. Because I'd started the moves, funny enough, down the right hand side, put Dean Peer across, and Gleghorn. That was my last. So that's probably that one, just for sentimental reasons, really.
Ray wants to know, what was it like playing under a chairman like Ken Weldon?
No, I was only a kid, so I never really.
Yeah.
It never really affected me, to be honest, at that time. I was only probably a first year apprentice then, I think, when he was there. Obviously, being the first, they'd noticed it more than what we would have, to remain.
Yeah.
That was, whichever way you want to look at it, those dark days, weren't they? For Blues.
Horrible days.
No, terrible.
Horrible.
We had a few beatings. Had a few beatings against them lot up the road, didn't we? The CMOD Cup and the League Cup and all that lot.
Yeah.
Nigel, no, we won't talk about that. Nigel Mann wants to know, how many times did Kevin get sent off?
Only once professionally.
Right, okay.
So if you want to count the break and the break the leg, that was twice.
Okay, so you've doubled it. That's twice.
Yeah, because that was a pre-season tour, but only once in a competitive game.
Right. That's not a bad record, really, is it?
No. Actually, I think it was against. Might have been against Andy Saville when he was Andy Saville at Barnsley or Andy Rammell.
Rammell was.
Andy Rammell was.
Yeah.
You know what?
Who's the best manager you ever played for in your whole career?
Best manager, Ron Saunders was up there, weren't he? You got to say Ron Saunders. Yeah. Even John Bond, because John Bond, he was good for me. John Bond was, to be fair.
Yeah.
Also, the best coach by a country mile was like Bobby Ferguson, who was assistant to Dave McCoy.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he was also Bobby Robson's assistant at Ipswich when Ipswich were flying.
Okay.
But when I took over Blues, the ideas he had, he was 10, 15 years ahead of the game at the time.
Right. Okay.
He come in. He was telling the centre. Normally, when it was like keeper had the ball, he used to tell the fullbacks to split, didn't you, and get the ball. He was telling the forwards to push on and centre halves to split, kind of thing. So he was well ahead of his time. He was really good, real good coach.
Jason wants to know, if you could go back in time and do anything different in your playing career, what would it be?
Not signed for Wolves.
Not signed for Wolves.
I should have stayed where I was. Well, it was out of my hands, but I wish I could have stayed where I was.
Yeah.
It just went downhill from there, to be honest.
Yeah.
Anthony says, Kev had a stormer on his last game for us. We beat Stoke away, 1-1-0 with a Nigel Gleghorn goal, and it was great away following. That was your last game.
Oh, yeah, I remember that game, yeah.
Yeah?
I think they locked up. It was the old Stoke ground, and the change rooms had the window. They had a window back into the stand.
Yeah.
And I think they kept the Blues fans behind for ages. That
that's
game.
right. Yeah, they did.
Yeah. It was a good away following that day, to be honest.
And Anthony Garvey's saying as well, tell them your Colchester story, Kev.
Go on.
The FA Cup game, wasn't it? I think it was the last. There was another one. I think it was the last minute of the game. We've scored from it as well. Like, I've intercepted the ball, but as I'm running down the line with intercepted it, someone's pulled me back. I've dislocated my shoulder, so I've had to go to hospital. Bobby Ferguson, who was on about before, he had a house in Ipswich, so the coach had to go back. I was at hospital. Bobby Ferguson had to collect me, so I had to stay at Bobby Ferguson's house on the Saturday night. We'd already arranged a family night out. So he'd gone out, left me in the house with a big ulceration. that never let me get off the. I couldn't get off the set. Every time I moved an inch, just barked, growled. I couldn't move. I was there for about 3 hours, moved off the settee until he come in. Yeah, it's massive. It's cool. All night, 3 hours on the settee, not moving.
Is that a true story?
Yeah, it is, honestly, yeah. I couldn't, honestly, just had me pinned to the settee.
Oh, crikey, there's only the cameras around that time.
Yeah.
Funny. Ian Clayton says, Kevin, did you play in the same team as Carl Richards?
Super Carl, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. I did, yeah. Am I allowed to say probably one of the worst I've ever played with?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, he was another. Did we sign from Bournemouth, didn't we?
Mm.
Carl was just because I remember Gary Pendry signed, didn't he? Apparently when
Gaz.
Did he score against us?
I think he did. He had a great game.
Signed him, yeah.
Yeah. So Pendry bought him on that basis, didn't he? I think.
Yeah.
And then the first away game I had with him, we've gone to an hotel. We've had a pre-match meal, and he's disappeared. And there's a big leather chair in the hotel foyer.
Yeah.
Mm. No, nobody knew he was sat there. We could just be puffs of smoke coming out. Carl Richards with a cigar. Gary Pendry went mad. He went balmy at him.
I can imagine.
He was a bad player for us.
Yeah.
He was shocking.
I can imagine Gary had a bit of a temper as well.
Do you know what? I felt sorry for Gary because he's not a manager.
No.
He's an assistant manager. You know what I mean? But he couldn't turn the chance down to manage his club, basically. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's probably one of the most bubbliest people you ever. Even when things weren't going well, he'd come in every day, try and keep the lads upbeat, and just a great. He's good at that. That's what he is. He's great to have around the place, kind of thing.
Mm.
He just wasn't a manager.
No.
You couldn't blame him for he couldn't turn that job down.
Nah.
No, of course.
What was your favourite away ground to play at, or when you played, away from home? What would you say was the best stadiums that you played in?
I don't know, for whatever reason, I like Ipswich. I don't know why. I just like Ipswich. Played Old Trafford, the old Trafford.
Yeah. Ipswich is a strange one to say, though, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Do you know what? Probably because of the pitches. It was quite compact. That was at one time.
Yeah.
The pitch then when we played it was unbelievable. Goodison Park as well.
Yeah.
That's a proper stadium, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that's another one. That's that's soon to be gone, isn't it? And
that's right. Yeah, they're going to move closer to Liverpool, aren't they? Yeah. Strange one. Yeah. Carl Richards. Sorry, my dad always said the worst signing ever. Carl Richards.
Popular choice.
Yeah, Carl Richards made his debut. We lost 4-1 at home to West Bromwich Albion. Vince Everson got sent off for stamping on Robert Hopkins.
Yeah.
The worst manager you ever played for?
Ooh.
The worst manager?
Yeah.
Not through my career. Does that mean?
For you, you ever played for? Yeah. A fella called John Still at Peterborough.
John Still.
He come from Dagenham at the time. He had a big name in non-league football for being a great manager and this, that and the other. Absolutely shocking. Unbelievable.
I remember the name, yeah?
Hey?
I remember that name, yeah. I remember the name.
Oh, mate, he's unbelievable. How he was a manager, I'll never know.
Wasn't he in the game? He was in the game till quite recently, wasn't
he? I think he was at Luton, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, we
somewhere,
yeah, but if we got beat you'd have a scene of it. Well, straight after the game, he'd have to go out. He'd run us till we couldn't run anymore. That was his kind of punishment. But we played Cambridge once, which was a local derby for Peterborough.
Yeah.
They beat. I think it was 5-1 or something. They beat us. And you got about derbies. I mean, the hate between them two is. You think it's only a small club, like, but they couldn't stand each other. Two Peterborough fans got into the changing room after the game. The stewards come in like, to ush them out, and John Still says, "No," he says, "Leave them in there. He says these need to know what it means to the fans." Well, he shut the door, left these two fans in there. The two fans slaughtered him. So did John Still. He opened the door. He says, "Get these out of here." He thought these were going to slaughter us.
Yeah.
I'm still laughing at the dog story. I've just got this picture now, and I can't get it out of my brain.
I was stood there. I got my hand in a thingy bob as well, a sling. I could, because I'd dislocate my shoulder. Often stiff I was.
So, Chris, have you got the Who?
Oh yeah, well, I've got the Who somewhere. Right, okay.
What we do now is we basically play a clip of a former Blues player speaking, and we've got to try and guess who it is. Now, Kevin, it is somebody you played with from your era. That's the only clue I'm giving. If you know who it is, tell us, but just tell us the first letter of his surname if you think you know who it is, and then we try and see if our viewers can guess who it is.
Right then, here we go. Here is this week's Who.
I think the important thing is they went out there to win a tournament. They won it. They were part of a winning team, and there's nothing like, you know, when you turn up at places like you do at Dallas and you set out, you know what's in front of you. As I said to him, you know, if you win.
Any ideas?
I played with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Best mate. Not really. You had a big dog.
It's the actual dog.
Who that is?
No idea. Go on,
Gonna give it him again?
Let's play it again. Here we go.
I think the important thing is they went out there to win a tournament. They won it. They were part of a winning team, and there's nothing like, you know, when you turn up at places like you do at Dallas and you set out, you know what's in front of you. As I said to him, you know, if you win.
I think I do know, but I just can't think of the name, you know.
Nigel says Paul Fletcher.
No.
Broads. No, it's not Broads, is it? No.
No, it's not Gleghorn.
Gleghorn, no, it's not Gleghorn. No. Round that era, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Round that era.
Yeah, late 80s. Leighton, any ideas?
No, I'm really thinking, and I'm stuck with that one.
Mark, you know, don't you, Mark?
I know it, yeah.
Okay, we'll keep it quiet. Keep it quiet for a bit.
I won't ask you then.
We'll come back to that. On YouTube, Dean Madam says, was there any other club interested other than Wolves in buying you from Blues? Says Dean.
That
you know of.
Yeah, well, I know Man City had the 200 grand the season before I left. I had a bid.
Right.
I know Graham Taylor, when he was at Villa, he inquired about signing me, but was put off by I think Blues wanted the $500,000 at the time, and he said it was too much.
That was a lot of money. That was a lot of money then.
Yeah, but he said it was too much for an untried youngster, basically.
Yeah.
So yeah, just on that, all I know of at the time was it was actually had a firm interest was Man City, Wolves, and Villa. I know there was a lot of clubs watching it. I mean, we had some good youngsters at the time, like Schreiner, Sturridge.
Yeah.
There used to be a lot of scouts every game watching. I know Everton were sort of hovering, nothing concrete.
I was going to ask Kevin, did you keep any mementos from your career? You got any shirts, medals, anything? Any souvenirs?
No, do you know, I had loads of videos, programs. I had a couple of shirts and stuff. A few years back, my wife's father, he died, passed away. Like, they live in Florida. And we wanted to try and move out there, but we sold everything we had, trying to move to America. So I threw everything out. So I got rid of everything. No, I've got nothing. I'm nothing further.
Nothing at all. No. That's a shame, isn't it? No. That's a shame. On YouTube, Mark Holland says, was it Steve Wigley? Dean says,
yes.
Was it Ray Rance?
Yes, it was. Well done to that person.
Well done, Mark Holland on YouTube. There you go.
So it was Steve Wigley, yeah. Is that worth a hat, I reckon?
Pardon? Yeah, he gets in touch with us.
I reckon he should get a hat for that.
Yeah, you can have a hat. Yeah, of course, yeah. Yeah, get in touch with us and I can send you a hat.
Yeah, send your details. Get you a hat for that one, because that wasn't easy at all, was it?
No, that was hard. That was hard. That was really hard. Did I miss a swear word, apparently? No?
I never heard one.
No. Apparently I should have had the bleep machine out, but I didn't hear it.
Unless somebody said the V word.
Oh, right, well, there you go. Sorry. Bring back DJ Sport.
Okay. Yeah. He wasn't a bad player, was he, Steve Wigley?
Steve Wigley was okay. Yeah, he was okay.
Yeah, I used to like him when I was a kid.
Mm.
The goal in the FA Cup at Barnsley. 1-2-0. Yeah. Cracking goal that was.
Yeah.
Yeah,
good stuff.
You're running. You must have been only 3.
Hey?
You must have only been 3.
No. I was 4.
I reckon he's wearing.
Only joking.
I reckon he had his robe on as well when he was watching the game.
Yeah. That's right.
It's an authentic 1980s robe.
Steve Portman just says, bring back DJ Spall. The new bloke in the blue robe is nowhere near as exciting.
Thanks, Steve.
Yeah.
So another thing we've asked you to do as well, Kevin, is name your Blues 1 to 11, haven't we, from the players that you played with for us?
Yeah.
So have you got that to hand now? Have you?
I've seen this. It's a good one.
Yes, I'm just going to get up now.
It's a good one.
Just bear with me once.
No, that's fine.
Yeah, no worries. So this is the best players that you played with for us during your time at St Andrews.
Far away.
Goalkeeper David Seaman.
That's not a bad start.
No, not in the game. That gives us only in training kind of thing.
Could you see in David Seaman, when you saw him playing for us, that what he was going to go on to become? Would you have predicted his career the way it went?
Yeah, he had a. I mean, he was a big unit. His hands were massive. He had an aura about him, kind of thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he had that. You could see the quality he had.
Yeah, brilliant goalkeeper, wasn't he?
Yeah. They've always had good keepers, haven't they, Blues? Yeah, they used to.
Yeah, they have. They've had some fantastic keepers over the years.
Yeah.
Right back, Ray Ranson.
Okay, yeah.
Left back, Julian Dix.
Yeah.
2 centre halves, Dean Atkins and Trevor Mathewson.
Nice.
2 midfielders, Dennis Morton and Des Bremner.
Des Bremner, yeah.
Rob Hopkins, Ward right. Nigel Gleghorn on the left. Wayne Clark and Steve Whitten up front.
Yeah, Whitten, yeah.
That's a good side, that is, isn't it? And who would be captain? Who would be your captain?
Dennis Mortimer.
Okay.
John Bond as manager.
John Bond as manager, yeah. That's a good side, that is, isn't it? We've had some cracking players, haven't we?
We have, some fantastic players. Hoppy went off to Man City as well, didn't he?
Yeah,
late in his career. Yeah,
I don't think he was there for long, was he?
No, I don't think it was. I don't think he did very well now. And Ray says Ray Ranson scored the best goal disallowed for Blues I've ever seen. Says Ray.
Who's that again?
Ray Ranson scored the best goal disallowed for Blues that I've ever seen.
I think for me, it would have to be Pedersen at Bournemouth the other week.
Yeah.
I can't think of a better goal than that's been disallowed. That I've right here and now, off the top of my head, I can't think of a better goal that's been disallowed than that for us.
No, I can't.
Craig just said that was a great team you picked, Kev. But how many red cards would you see from it?
In today's game?
Yeah.
Oh, quite a few.
Just, how many players would be left on the pitch after that goal?
Can
you imagine?
Julian Dix won't be there for long, would he?
No.
What would the Christmas do be like as well?
Pretty mild.
Yeah, because Hoppy wouldn't drink much.
No.
Nor Tatey.
No,
they'd be sitting there sober as judges.
He scuppered a move back to Blues, mate. When I was at Wolves, I was gutted. I was.
Right. Okay, that's the story.
Yeah, what happened?
Tatey was. I think I can't remember. I think it was Millwall. If he'd have gone to Millwall or a club, Barry Fry was going to bring me back from Wolves. But for some reason, it never materialised, and he ended up signing. I can't think it's Gary, right back Gary.
Gary Paul.
Yeah. Ended up signing him. I remember Tate. He'll tell you about it more because he'll remember the team. I don't know if it's Millwall or Oxford. If he'd have gone to one of them clubs, then I'd have got the move back to Blues.
Yeah, he went to Millwall on loan, didn't he? And I don't think I think he was going to go on loan. It never quite happened, and then he finished up at Oxford, didn't he? I think.
I can't remember the actual club, but I thought it was Millwall, to be honest.
But I think that was when Trevor was there, though, wasn't it? Not Barry Fry was I think Trevor was our manager.
Was it?
No, this is Barry Fry. He's going to take me back.
Oh, okay. So possibly never happened then. Yeah. He never left the club, did he? Until Trevor Francis was in charge.
No, he was supposed to go somewhere. If he'd have gone, I'd have got the move back to Blues.
Okay.
A couple of people have said regarding your 1-11 was why no Vince Everson?
Yeah, that's the point.
I toyed with Vince. It's just Atkins on his experience kind of thing, really.
Yeah.
I did. It was toss up between Vince and him, to be honest.
Yeah.
He was a good lad. Vince was a good lad. Good player as well.
Yeah.
Well, so Tatey played for Millwall. We signed for Millwall on loan, but never played a game for them. Says Antoine.
I think that might have been the thing. If it had gone and signed, I'd have got the move. Or when Tatey's on, he'll know more. I remember him laughing at me when I seen him. They kind of scuppered it.
Yeah. So, Leighton, what was your first game as a fan?
Oh, I can't remember who it was against, but I remember getting. It was in '86, and all I remember was my brother telling me not to stand by the metal barriers on the terrace, and I was spinning round. And then the worst thing happened was Blues scored, and I ended up getting absolutely squashed against those metal barriers. And I walked back towards my brother with my towel between my legs, thinking, I'm not going to stand there again. But I was trying to explain to my daughter it was before all seats and everything. And when they scored, you just went with everybody else, and I was about 8 years old at the time, and I just literally I couldn't breathe. I was against this metal bar.
Yeah, we were chatting a bit weren't we, about what St Andrews was like, you know, when Kevin played, and the old scoreboard, and you know, and we mentioned the old Robin Reliant as well, didn't we, in the corner?
They weren't Robin Reliance. There was something else, weren't they? Those little blue cars. What the hell?
It's not a blue Robin Reliant, wasn't it?
No. They were disabled cars. I'm not going to repeat what you said earlier. We'll get in trouble. Just to repeat what we said earlier about Nick. Sharon's messaged me to say his operation was a lot bigger than they thought it'd be. Now the anaesthetic has worn off. He's in a lot of pain. They're keeping him in. And can you tell the listeners and everyone for him, please? So we're sending our best wishes to Nick. Get better soon.
Get well soon, Nick.
Get well soon, Nick.
Right, I'll go back.
Definitely,
Yeah,
good stuff. So with the main game on Wednesday night, aren't we, at home to Reading? We're actually on Sky Sports Football and not Red Button.
That's it. Main event.
We've been promoted. Yes.
I can't. That red button footage is terrible, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah, it's not the best, is it?
There's no replays. The quality's okay if you've got good Wi-Fi, but it's still not great, is it? It's not good.
We're on about the team, Paul.
Say again.
We're on about the team in general.
Yeah.
But no, I don't know. Do you reckon we'll have?
Yeah, that's right.
Do you reckon we'll have the new man in the dugout by then?
Yeah.
Definitely. Definitely. It's probably there now.
Yeah, I don't know what the delay is, but you know, I think, well, I'm hoping it's all announced tomorrow morning, if not tonight. It's probably a bit late now, isn't it? I reckon tomorrow morning.
It'll be tomorrow now. Yeah.
They're probably just waiting for the tranquilizer to wear off.
You're right there, Pete Taylor. Red button is better than not being able to watch it. I totally agree.
Yeah. Mark Holland's just reminded me that those little blue three-wheeler things, they were underneath the clock. They used to in Jansel's clock, weren't they? Right in the corner.
Yeah.
So they used to go on the pitch if a player was injured on a stretcher or something, or would the stretcher take him off?
No, I think you're getting totally confused there, Paul. They were disabled cars.
Oh, okay.
For disabled people,
they could. Sorry, yeah, okay.
I've just pictured them now all driving on like somebody goes down injured.
Doing donuts on the centre circle.
Throw me in the back of there. No income tax. Jason Hughes just says, has anyone noticed that the lad on Blues TV wears the same outfit every game? Shirt, blue jumper, chinos and brown shoes. I can't say it's something I've looked at all.
I'll tell you what, though, I was loving that new vaping advert on Saturday. That sounded brilliant going through my sound system. That did the music on that one. Much better than AMG Logistics and Pre-London. And that Pre-London one, God, that's so loud, that is. My cat runs off crying when that comes on.
Oh, no.
Yeah. A lot of people are talking about the disabled cars, calling you a numpty, which you are.
Before my time.
Didn't Chelsea have them as well? I think Chelsea had them as well.
No, they were quite a common thing. I think they were at a lot of grounds. Yeah. Was that between the Cop and the Railway End, the Answers Clock? Very faint memories of it. Carl wants to know, what formation will Bowyer play? Well, we're hoping 4-4-2, aren't we?
4-4-2, I hope.
Paul?
As long as we win, I don't care.
Yeah.
Just about the results now, innit? Last 10 games, let's just get the results.
That's it. It don't matter. Just snatch the points.
I mean, Kevin, when you played, was it more about just getting the result, getting out there and winning the game? And if you play well and we win 2 or 3-0 or 4-0 or something, then it's a bonus, isn't it?
Yeah. At the end of the day, like, you judge on your results, don't you? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's great if you can play well and win, but position Blues at the minute, performances don't matter. It's just points. Going to get as many points as you can.
Exactly.
They give you something to build on next season, then, can't you?
Yeah, exactly.
I was going to say, what would your mindset be playing in front of no fans? But it's pretty much like that anyway in the late 80s.
It was.
There was still an atmosphere. Though.
Yeah.
That's what we were saying.
Even with 4,000,
Yeah. There was still.
I wish there was no fans at Wolves when I played for them.
Anthony says, why are we not mentioning Lee Bauer? We did, didn't we?
We have.
We did,
that's what we've talked. Where have you been? Yeah. So we all think that Lee's going to be installed either late tonight or early morning.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Leighton, what do you think?
Yeah, I think it's going to be announced tomorrow, and I hope he does all right. I hope he can get the dressing room on his side, and it'll be interesting. Yeah.
Backroom staff
can't be any worse than what we've had.
No. What about backroom staff? What do we think is going to happen regarding backroom staff? We know what we'd like.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure who his management team are at the moment. To be honest, I don't know who he's got around him at the moment.
Have they left as well? Have they left as well today?
Was it Johnny Jackson? I think actually they said he's staying at the club.
He's staying, but I think the others have all left as well. I think
that's what I mean. I don't know. Do you know any of they are? Any of them?
No, I don't. To be honest, Paul.
No,
I couldn't tell you.
No,
that's something that seems to happen, though, doesn't it? When a manager leaves a club, He tends to take his backroom staff with him.
Well, that's the thing. We're looking at it from a Blues perspective. You know, we'd love to have the Carling Cup lads or possibly even Robbo back, but he might be having his own, his London-based lads with him. So we don't know. Yeah.
But it's usually served us well, hasn't it? Like I said at the start of the show, it's usually served us well having an ex-player as the manager.
Absolutely,
they get the club, they get the fans, and I think the players will relate to him as well. Hopefully he can get the best out of them and play to their strengths, and we can start to climb away from trouble.
Yeah. And I think we've proved again that the foreign route for Blues, it don't happen.
No,
I think we'll hopefully in the future we'll just stick with British.
Yeah. Mark just says Bowyer knows Leko. Could get the best out of him.
Yes, he could. Yeah, he managed him last season, didn't he?
Yeah,
and did very well for him.
Yeah.
I think out of respect for Nick as well in his recovery, I want to do a last 15 as well. And in a couple of minutes' time, I've just thought of something. Right, so we'll do a last 15 as well. What we do, Kevin, is we think of a subject and it's a word association. Yeah. So I'll come up with a subject, and what our viewers have to do is relate it to football. So, for example, the other week we had a building site and we had Gravel Morrison or Harry Crane.
Yeah.
So it's just a bit of fun for the last 15 minutes. And it's Nick's. It's one of Nick's favourites, and he usually laughs his head off, doesn't he? So, we'll do that very shortly.
Mark Anderson says I'd like him to bring Mark Bowen with him as coach. What do you think of Mark Bowen? Yeah, it's a good shout, that is. Yeah.
There's no links there though, is there? There's no links between Bowyer. I don't think Mark Bowen's ever worked with Lee Bowyer. I'm not sure.
There's a Charlton link, but I don't know about Bowen himself. Bowyer himself, but there is a Charlton link there.
Yeah.
I can't see that happening, to be honest.
No, but he's a good coach, Mark Bowen, isn't he?
He's a very good coach, yeah. I wouldn't say no, but I just don't think there's a link, is there?
No. Yeah. No, but definitely Kevin Phillips for me.
Absolutely, yeah.
And a lot of people are shouting out for Robbo to come back as
well.
I'd
love Robbo to come back.
I'd love Robbo to come back as well. Yeah, I'd love him to be involved.
Surely, in some capacity in that backroom team, there's got to be room for Robbo. Surely.
Yeah.
Well, you could have a defensive coach and an attacking coach, couldn't you? You could have Kevin Phillips as our attacking coach and Robbo as our defensive coach.
Yeah, he did quite well with the under-23s, didn't he, Robbo, as well?
Yeah, and the under-18s.
Yeah. So he knows his stuff. Yeah, I think that could work. Really do. Yeah, in some capacity. Ray just says, I think half his backroom staff were Spanish.
Really?
That's Andy. That's what he said.
Right.
That's what he said. Yeah.
All right.
Kevin Phillips, if you could, says Benji Smith. Dave Twine says Steve Gallen and Andy Marshall at Charlton.
Oh, okay. Okay, I remember. Yeah, I recognise those now. Andy Marshall was a former goalkeeper, wasn't he? He played for Norwich.
Yeah,
I remember him. Okay, so we're into the last 15, and for Leighton, we're going to do anything that you would find in a bakery associated to football. Off you go.
All right, so we'll wait for some stupid things to come up on the chat box. Yeah. Ian Evans says that Lee Bowyer took his training today. I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced that happened. I don't know.
Don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
If you want to work on a new contract, would you have time to sort of go on the training ground and?
Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Oh crikey, they've started. Are you ready?
Go on.
Tim Flowers.
Yeah.
David Bunn.
David Bunn.
After chocolate, definitely.
Yeah.
A couple of David Bunns. Christoph Gary, as spelt in as in
I like that.
Yeah, I like that one.
Gary. There you go.
I like that one. Oh, Nigel Mann as well. That's a good one, mate. Cobbo instead of Robbo.
Cobbo.
Yeah. Cobb Latchford.
Cobb Latchford. You think of any, Kevin?
I can't know. I'm trying to.
Here's some good news for you, Kevin. Wolves are losing 1-0.
There you go.
Nice.
Nathan Bredmond.
Nathan Bredmond. Brilliant.
John Scones.
Scales.
Chris Cobb Dugarry. Michael Appleton turnover.
Love it.
Robbo should have been at Blues, not Craig Gardner. He should go along with the other useless coaches. Paul Cobbinson.
Cobbinson, yeah.
Cobbinson, yeah.
Scotty Clare.
Instead of Sinclair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it, yeah.
Yeah. Greg Zalford.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Apple Turnoverson. The Frankie Buns are still coming.
Yeah.
So what are you doing work-wise nowadays, Kevin?
I was going to ask that.
Scaffolding.
Oh, are you?
Scaffolding?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You got your own business, or?
No. Somebody else at the minute.
Okay.
From one extreme to the other.
Yeah.
Living the dream now.
So what did you do immediately after you left football? What did you do, when you left football?
I went to Royal Mail, Wayne Clark's Mr. Royal Mail. So he had the Telford job.
Yeah.
He was working at Royal Mail at the time, so he got me a job and took me to Telford with him as well.
Oh, right, okay.
We used to have a football team. We used to have a football team there as well, Royal Mail. We had Dean Emmett, Mickey Ginn was in it from Coventry.
Mickey Ginn, yeah, it's a flash from the past.
Yeah, Dean Emerson was in it.
Oh, you could do that with a bakery, Mickey Tin.
Come on.
Or Mixie.
Yeah.
Mixie Quinn.
Cobby Styles. Benson Babson. Paul Cookie.
Yeah.
Brad Davies.
So did you have a good side? Did you have a good side at Royal Mail then, yeah?
Yeah, we had a decent side, yeah.
Yeah.
We used to go on little tours as well around the country kind of thing.
Yeah.
It was good. It was good, actually. It was enjoyable.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Did the fans have an anthem? Like, Gary Baldy Pendry.
Oh. What about Strudel Van Nistelrooy?
Not bad. Not bad, Mark.
Good one.
Yeah.
Delia had a bowl of curry sauce.
That's a good one.
I like that. That's a cracking one.
Yeah.
Dan
Nathan, are you
Burnquist.
back at work? Have you managed to get back to work yet, or are you still off?
I'm not back yet. I'm hoping to be back, hopefully next month.
Good man.
You just keep hitting a lot of hurdles because people don't want to take the risk to let you back.
Yeah.
So what did you do? What do you do, Leighton?
I'm a baker.
You bake, of course. Yeah. You're a baker. Yeah.
Full set.
Local or for a national bakery company?
For a big company, but I work in Bromsgrove where Kevin used to play.
Oh, right. Okay. Oh, you don't live in Bromsgrove, do you?
No, I don't know.
That's a good journey.
Yeah. Where do you live, Leighton?
I live Redditch. I'm originally from Birmingham now.
Yeah. You live in Redditch, yeah?
Yeah.
You get a lot of Blues fans there?
I think it's more the other side, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah,
you do kick quite a lot.
Yeah, a lot of the dark side, yeah.
Peter Beardsley, Nathan Baker, Cristiano Ronaldo.
Oh, God.
I don't know what was funny there. I don't know what was funny. It's like the actual pun or the way you said it.
I said it. Yeah, I made it funny, didn't I? Kenny Burns buns.
Right, Whiskey Otto. Whiskey Otto.
Lee Dow.
Craig's asking me to mention as well, Leighton, about your charity walk.
Yeah.
Oh, crikey, yeah. Tell us about that.
Yeah. I'm hoping with some of the staff from the NHS and some people that I work with, we're going to be walking Snowdon in June. Hopefully, with lockdown will hopefully let us do this. But considering just under a year to that day, I wasn't even walking. So I had to learn to walk again. So I'm hoping to walk Snowdon, and I'm doing it on behalf of the Primrose Hospice, who supported my family and kids with phone calls and chats and support. And I'd just like to give something back to them.
That's fantastic.
Fair play. That's brilliant.
Brilliant.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hot cross Mark bun. Pizza Lovencrans. Mickey
I don't know
Pin.
if people think
Mickey
of them.
Pin.
I'm really struggling now with it.
Pizza Unlove.
Pizza Unlove.
Yeah. Pizza Unlove. Kevin Crosthurst.
Yeah. So, Kevin, have you worked all the way through the pandemic yourself, or have you been off?
Off for about 3 months at the start, 3 or 4 months at the start.
Yeah.
Then full at it, really.
Yeah.
They never closed construction down, did they? So
no, that's right. Yeah. I suppose that's one.
Where are you living these days, Kevin?
Kings Heath.
You're back Kings Heath, yeah.
Back in Kings Heath, yeah.
Back in your home. That's like your home patch, isn't it?
Well, I grew up in Billesley when I grew up.
Billesley, which is the posh part of Hall Green, really, isn't it?
I had to move 2 hours over when I went to Wolves.
Oh,
yeah. I just think of the pub I do, the Billesley.
Yeah, Billesley pub. Yeah.
It
was a nice, friendly place. That wasn't it?
Probably the biggest. Got to be the biggest building I've seen, not for a pub. In Birmingham, massive, isn't it?
It's absolutely massive. Yeah.
Yeah.
Huge. Crocky. That was bigger than the house we saw last week.
Marlon's house.
Yeah, Marlon's house. Yeah. Marlon King's house.
Yeah.
Huge
I
thing.
mean,
Yeah. Sticky Hartford.
Yeah.
Barry Fry. Joe Tart.
Yeah.
Joe Tart, that's a good one.
Yeah. Stefan Iberbum. Oh, yeah. Stefan Iberbum.
So what we're saying then, are we going to stay up? Do we think we're going to stay up?
Oh, go on then.
Let's say Lee Bowyer's announced tomorrow morning.
Mm-hmm.
Are we going to stay up, yes or no? Later?
Yeah, I believe.
I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be close.
Yeah.
I think the first couple. I think the first couple of games. I think that'll be it. If we can get a win and a draw or a couple of wins.
Everyone's certainly a lot more optimistic though. We're getting a lot of yeses coming in now. I haven't seen a no yet, so.
I think it'll come down to the last day again.
Do you? Yeah. Usually, though, doesn't it? We don't do anything the easy way, do we?
Well,
we need another Cadiz moment.
Yeah.
I mean, how many more games can Rotherham? Obviously, in the circumstances why Rotherham can't play, obviously, is understandable. But how many games are they going to be allowed to have in hand?
Something not right about that. They shouldn't be allowed to keep, cancelling. No. They should, maybe there'd be a case, arguably, for forfeiting points.
Yeah.
So how many games is that they have postponed? Is it 2 or is it 3?
Well, they've got 4 in hand, haven't they?
Right, of course, yeah.
But I think it's 2 that have been postponed.
Yeah.
So what do you reckon, Kevin? What's your gut saying? Do you reckon we'll stay up?
I think so. I think go to the last game. I think nothing will do it.
Yeah. Okay.
You got rid of him at the right time, to fair, didn't they?
Yeah.
Give you a chance.
Sorry, Paul. Yeah, I think we'll stay up. Skin of our teeth, we'll do it. Yeah.
And then hopefully we really can kick on then, give him the summer. you know, and whatever funds we've got to support him, hopefully, which is good funds, we can take it forward from there.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know,
the big question really of the evening has got to be: do we think Dong will be here next week? A week from now?
No.
I think you'd think that, you know, it's got to be surely now. You know, Karanka was his last chance saloon, I would have thought personally, but you don't know. You don't know what the plan is, and we've got no idea. And there's obviously a delay for a reason, isn't there? So let's wait. All I can say to that is let's just wait and see.
I'm hoping the delay is because of a severance package being agreed.
For who?
Ideally.
For who?
Yeah, for who?
Yeah.
But I you know, the champagne's on ice, I think.
Yeah, and we haven't mentioned the process either, have we? At the weekend of the band that was going around the stage around Birmingham.
Oh no, that's right. Yeah.
You know, hats off to them guys that went to all that effort to do that, and you know, hopefully they were noticed.
Well, at least they were proactive. You know, I mean, some people have said, "Oh, it's embarrassing" and all that, but at least they're doing something.
Yeah.
And what more can you do? We can't go into the ground, so you've got to be proactive. So fair play to them.
Yeah, exactly.
Going back to Rotherham, they've postponed 5 so far, 3 for COVID and 2 for the weather.
Oh, really?
2 for the weather?
It's not right. It's not right.
We had some bad weather.
Can't be right.
Brett, just quickly, Brett says, do we think there'll be a big player clear out at the end of the season?
Oh, yeah.
I think there needs to be. I think there needs to be now, yeah. I think we do need an overhaul, you know. We need to, you know, we've got some good players, don't get me wrong, but, you know, I think we do need to look at improving in certain areas, definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
We've come to that time, Paul, haven't we?
Unbelievable, really, isn't it, how quick it goes? Yeah, Kevin, thanks for giving up your time, mate. It's been a pleasure talking to you.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem, mate, and all the best for your future as well, mate.
Cheers,
what you
do.
Thanks, Kevin.
Cheers, thanks a lot.
And Leighton, you keep going, mate. You keep doing what you're doing and keep recovering. And hopefully you're back at work soon, and you know, get normality back. Then can't you more when you're back at work as well?
Yeah.
And,
thanks for all your support.
No, pleasure, mate. And hopefully we can get back. Hopefully we can get back down the Blues as well very soon. You know, because this is probably the most. If Bowyer is announced tomorrow, that's probably the most I'm going to feel it Wednesday night. Since obviously we've not been able to go, because I can only imagine what it would have been like. You know, with us all there, it would have been electric, wouldn't it?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, under floodlights and that. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Well, let's just say Roger Johnson's with him, or you know, Kevin Phillips comes in with him, or Robbo comes back, or you know, and then you got Lee Bowyer as well. It would have just been an awesome atmosphere Wednesday night.
Yeah,
it would have been. Like I said, it would have been like Gary Rabbit's first game.
Yeah.
Oh, can we actually, Paul, do a quick prediction? Do a quick prediction for Wednesday.
Yeah, go on then. Yeah, predictions.
Can I kick off with I think 1-1.
1-1. Okay. I'm going to go for a 1-0 Blues. There you go. Leighton.
Yeah. I'll go 1-0.
Paul.
I'll go 2-1.
Kev.
1-0 Blues.
Let's get off to a good start under the new manager.
Yeah.
Would you take a point?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Obviously, I prefer all 3, but yeah, you know, it wouldn't be a bad start against Reading. They're not a bad side.
No.
And when you take in, hopefully they can just completely clear all the demons now of the home form. You know what I mean? Because it's just been horrendous at home in particular. You know, and we can sort that out moving forwards till the end of the season. But we've got Watford as well. We've got Watford away on Saturday as well, haven't we? Do you want to do a quick one on that one as well?
1-0
to Blues.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna go for a 1-1. Another draw.
Leighton.
Okay.
I'll go for a draw.
Kev.
It's a tough game at Watford, isn't it?
Yeah.
I can't see anything. Well,
new manager.
New manager. Draw. Go for a draw.
Draw. Okay.
I'll say 0-0. I'll go for 0-0 at Watford.
Yeah.
Tough game. It's a tough game.
Yeah.
Okay. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Have a good week.
And we'll see you next week.
Care.
Good night,
Good night, all.
Good night.
We are the lads from the Tilton. We'll support